The Roman Empire, once the greatest superpower the world had ever seen. At its height, Rome controlled lands stretching from Britain to the Middle East, ruling over 60 million people. Its legions were feared, its roads unmatched, its culture admired. And yet, this mighty empire collapsed. How could something so powerful fall into ruin? In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind the fall of the Roman Empire, political corruption, economic troubles, invasions, and more. By the end, you'll see why Rome's downfall wasn't caused by a single event, but by centuries of problems that finally caught up with the empire. 1. Political instability and corruption. One of the biggest reasons for Rome's collapse was political instability. In its early years, Rome was held together by strong leadership, but as centuries passed, power struggles tore the empire apart. Emperors were assassinated, overthrown, or replaced by generals with private armies. Between 235 and 284 AD, Rome had more than 20 emperors in just 50 years, most dying violently. With constant civil wars, Rome wasted its strength fighting itself instead of defending against external threats. Corruption also weakened the government, as officials enriched themselves while the empire crumbled around them. 2. Economic troubles and heavy taxes. Rome's economy was once fueled by conquest. Gold, slaves, and resources flowed into the empire. But when expansion stopped, so did the wealth. Wars became more expensive, and maintaining huge armies drained the treasury. To pay for it all, emperors raised taxes to crushing levels. Ordinary citizens and farmers couldn't keep up. Trade also declined, partly due to constant wars and unsafe roads. At the same time, Rome faced inflation. Emperors began reducing the silver content of coins, making money less valuable. Prices soared, and trust in the economy collapsed. A weakened economy meant less resources to defend the empire, creating a downward spiral Rome couldn't escape. 3. Overexpansion and military strain. Rome grew too large to manage. At its peak, it stretched across 3 continents. Defending such vast territory was nearly impossible. Armies were stationed from Britain to Mesopotamia, but moving soldiers took months. Enemies could attack weak points faster than Rome could respond. To make matters worse, the empire relied more and more on mercenaries, foreign soldiers paid to fight. Unlike Roman legions, mercenaries had little loyalty to the empire. Many switched sides or rebelled when not paid. Overexpansion made Rome strong for a time, but in the end, it became one of its greatest weaknesses. 4. Barbarian invasions. No factor shaped the fall of Rome more than the barbarian invasions. Rome called anyone beyond its borders barbarians. Over time, these tribes, the Goths, Vandals, Huns, and Franks, grew stronger. In 410 AD, the Visigoths, led by Alaric, sacked Rome itself. It was the first time in 800 years the Eternal City had fallen to a foreign enemy. Later, in 455 AD, the Vandals invaded and looted Rome again. Meanwhile, the terrifying Huns under Attila rampaged across Europe, pushing other tribes into Roman territory. In 476 AD, the final blow came when the dramatic chieftain Odoacer deposed the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus. The Western Roman Empire was gone. 5. Decline of Roman values and society. Historians also argue that Rome fell because its people changed. In the Republic, Romans valued discipline, civic duty, and loyalty. But by the empire's later years, decadence and corruption spread. Emperors held lavish games and banquets, while ordinary citizens struggled. The gladiator arenas and endless luxuries symbolize an empire obsessed with spectacle, not survival. Some historians, like Edward Gibbon, believe this moral decay made Rome too weak to resist external enemies. 6. Division of the empire. Another key factor was the empire's division. In 285 AD, Emperor Diocletian split Rome into the Western and Eastern empires, thinking it would make governing easier. The East, with its capital at Constantinople, grew richer and stronger, but the West, centered in Rome, was weaker, poorer, and more vulnerable to invasions. When barbarians attacked, the East survived, while the West collapsed. By 476 AD, the Western Empire was gone, but the Eastern Empire, also called the Byzantine Empire, would last for another 1,000 years. 7. Christianity and cultural shifts. Some historians argue that the rise of Christianity also played a role. When Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity in the 4th century, the empire's focus shifted. Instead of worshiping the old Roman gods and traditions, more energy went into building churches and spreading the new faith. The argument isn't that Christianity caused the fall, but that it changed Rome's identity. The empire that had once united around traditional Roman values now looked very different, and some believe this weakened the old Roman spirit. Conclusion. So why did the Roman Empire fall? The truth is, it wasn't just one cause. Rome fell because of political chaos, economic decline, military strain, barbarian invasions, and deep cultural shifts. It collapsed slowly, over centuries, until one day the Western Roman Empire was no more. But Rome didn't disappear completely. Its laws, its culture, its language, and even its roads shaped the world we live in today. The fall of Rome reminds us of a timeless lesson. Even the greatest powers in history can collapse when they fail to adapt. Which of these reasons do you think was the biggest cause? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me for more epic stories of history's greatest empires.